with another run that makes it 9-0, Mount Union on top.
Yeah, this is a pitch that was up a little bit, and he got up top of this one and just line drive. And again, going back to the offensive approach, they're not trying to pull everything. On the outside, stayed back and drives it, line drives to right field and scores the run.
Seth Smith now bats. He'll pop this one straight up in the infield. Herman, the shortstop, is making the call, and he'll make the catch. And it's out base at first base. So 2 outs now in the inning. And it will bring Quinn Foltz to the plate.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Herman on that play. He had pretty far to run. Would maybe have liked to see Waller out in left field come out but make that play. He was there, but I think Herman was calling it all the way, so he let him have it.
Foltz 0 for 2 on the day, and rips one into right field. Gormley looks like he has it in his sights. He'll make the catch, and that will do it. For Mount Union, a little bit more damage. They put a run across. They do so on 2 more hits. They lead 2. We head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's now Mount Union 9, Notre Dame nothing.
Discover how great Pennsylvania manufacturers are with PCN Tours. Each episode is led by an expert who knows the company to give you an in-person experience with no script. Watch the original How It's Made. See what makes Pennsylvania a unique and exciting place to work and the opportunities it presents with PCN Tours. PCN, proud to bring Pennsylvania history and culture to you.
For over 35 years, the Emmy Award-winning Weather World has provided in-depth statewide forecasts that you won't find anywhere else. Weather World gives you more than just tomorrow's weather. They offer long-range forecasts and unique content that answers the why, as well as the what, when, and how weather will affect your life. Weather World, from the Penn State Department of Meteorology and Atmospheric Science. Weekdays at 5:45 and available for free on the PCN app.
Right now, we are in the midst of a battle for a state championship. PCN remembers the Battle of Gettysburg with 3 days of special programming. Watch new battle walks every night, beginning at 7 p.m. July 1st through July 3rd on cable and the PCN Select streaming service. PCN, as always, gets you ready for the 4th of July with our traditional Gettysburg battle walk, July 1st through the 3rd, right here on PCN. The Crusaders of Notre Dame Green Pond High School out of Easton in Northampton County looking to get something rolling here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And they get some thunder off the bat of Josh Herman, a line drive, but well played. Quinn Foltz was shooting in a little bit of right field. He takes a line drive single right off the bat of Josh Herman.
Yeah, that's what we call the old Adam balls. Hit it right at him. He smokes his ball. Does a great job just getting a good read, just coming up and ball hung up because it was hit so hard and folks could come in and make the play.
So it brings Nick Vanelli to the plate. Vanelli was a strikeout victim his first time up. Test out to the game, has not yet walked a batter. This one slaps down the first base line and will go under the glove of Cody Hand, and it will be a base hit for Nick Vanelli. So that play by Foltz even bigger now as Notre Dame needs base runners. And Vanelli becomes just their second base runner of the game with the 1-out single here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, that is it goes back to that play by Foltz because where that's in where he was positioned, Herman would have went first and third easily. So you'd have first and third with no outs.
And it brings up Stephen Luke for the Crusaders. And Smith does what he did the last time he surrendered a base runner, makes the pickoff attempt, and it was successful last time as he picked off the base runner, but Vanelli has barely any lead at all right now. It's his father, Rocco, doing the coaching for him. They're about 10 feet away, so I think he's not going to go wander too far away from his dad at first base.
No, there may be a bungee cord holding him 2 feet. That's it. No more.
1 ball, no strikes to Stephen Luke. Fouls this one straight back, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike.
And as the runner at first, obviously you're down 9-0. You can't do anything crazy. So it's that short lead. But a lot of times with lefties like this, they're looking at you. If you get a secondary lead too early, you can stand 2 feet from the base, but if you get your secondary too early, they can still pick you off. So he's doing a nice job making sure the ball is going home before he gets any kind of secondary lead.
Smith looked like he tried to throw a curveball there, but it slipped out of his hand a little bit, and it's way up high. So Stephen Luke, the hitter, the top hitter in the lineup for Notre Dame, is right now heading to count 2 balls and a strike. 14 extra base hits on the season for Stephen Luke. Hesitation, rips it right out to third baseman Dylan Gerhardt. So the Crusaders are coming out swinging here in the 4th inning, but not a whole lot to show for it other than the base hit, but now with 2 outs, and Gortland did the play.
When you think about it, this is Smith. This is the first time he's thrown out of the stretch all game, because with the 1 hit, he didn't even throw a pitch home. He picked him off the first pitch, so those first 2. So as a pitcher, you're sitting there, you don't do it, you don't warm up throwing out of that. So it's going to take a little bit to adjust to the strike zone and throwing balls over the plate.
Gormley lifts this one into center field. Shouldn't be a problem for Grayson McLean, and it's not. The Crusaders, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We got 4 now complete. Mount Union, 9. Notre Dame, nothing.
Hi, I'm Marissa Berger from the show Weather World, which airs weekdays here on PCN. PCN is an asset to Pennsylvania residents, and it's extremely important to those of us here in the Weather Communications Group at Penn State. You see, in the summer of 2004, our show Weather World, which had aired on various public television stations across the state, was canceled. But PCN came to the rescue. That November, PCN took a chance on us. 14 years later, we're still providing in-depth weather forecasts to the Commonwealth every weekday. So thank you, PCN, for giving us a place to talk shop and for connecting us with so many Pennsylvanians. Congratulations on 40 years in television. May your legacy to inspire continue in the decades to come. Weather World, weekdays at 5:45 p.m. and available anytime, anywhere on the PCN app.
PIAA championship games are the exclusive property of the PIAA. Television coverage is licensed to PCN, whose exclusive rights are protected by federal copyright law. Any retransmission of any kind or other use of the television coverage of this game without the express written consent of PIAA is prohibited by law. Mount Union sets to the play here in the top half of the 5th inning. They are on top of the Crusaders of Notre Dame Green Pond High School by a score of 9-0. Patrick Penalkin in for his 2nd inning of relief here for the Crusaders. And he will be facing the number 9 hole hitter, followed by the top of the order for Mount Union. That's Bryce Stinson, Grayson McLean, and Matt Harshbarger. Stinson 1 for 2 so far on the night. Swings very late at a curveball, way up and in, and he fouls that one out of play. A very defensive swing, to say the least, for Bryce Stinson, who can do nothing more than just kind of chuckle about it.
Yeah, he got fooled a little bit. All speed that stayed up, he thought it was going to drop.
He fouls this one straight down into the ground, so quickly ahead is Penalkin in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 4 runs in the first, 4 more in the second for the Trojans. They put a single run across in the 4th. And this one is again fouled and out of play. So right now, if you're the Crusaders, you think immediately about the 10-run rule that is there in high school baseball. And you got to make sure you try to hold down Mount Union right now, make sure they can't get that 10th run across. And this will be a strikeout, as Jurkovic couldn't hold on to it initially, but has plenty of time to throw down the first base and retire Stinson. That'll be the first strikeout recorded by Penalkin. It's also the first out recorded here in the 5th inning.
And Penalkin comes into the game. He's only thrown 13 innings. He's only been in 4 games, a couple starts. So this is a big spot for him, coming in, trying to hold him down, thinking that the offense is going to get moving at some point. And they had a couple loud outs last inning.
There's a pitch on the outside corner to Grayson McLean, who is up for the 4th time already in this game. And we're in the top of the 5th inning. He is 2 for 3 on the night. A couple singles and a ground out to first base in his 3 plate appearances. He's also scored a run. And he's now behind, no balls and 2 strikes. This one ripped in right field for another base hit. McLean is on base for the 3rd time and the 13th hit of the game for Mount Union.
Yeah, he's a pretty impressive, not a big physically imposing kid, but you can see in baseball you don't need to be, and he does a great job of hitting a mistake there. I mean, it's 0-2, you can't groove one right down the middle, but he stays back on it, line drives to right field. Nice job of hitting.
So that'll bring up Matt Harshbarger, who is 1 for 2 on the night. Walked and scored in the first, singled and scored in the second. Grounded out to third base his last time up. McLean takes his lead off of first. And it's 1-0 to Matt Harshbarger. That one's outside, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, you might see him running at some point in this at bat. The Trojans seem to like to put pressure on the defense. They're stealing a lot of bases, so this is a perfect opportunity to swipe a bag.
Fisted towards second, going to be a long run and not going to be able to get there. Vanelli can't do anything other than smother it. That's going to be an infield single for Harshbarger. And again, damage here for Mount Union. The top half of the 5th inning, they've got 2 on, 1 out.
And McLean got pretty lucky on that pitch, because that's a pitch he broke right away, and if Harshbarger gets to this, it's a double play. But ball's down now, he's at second base safely, but if he catches that there, he has no chance to get back to first.
So 2 hits now for Harshbarger. As McLean's on second, Harshbarger on first, and 1 out for Dylan Gearhart.
That's a play McLean, if you heard me say it or a coach says it. Coach, I had to read the whole way.
Yeah, I knew he was.
I knew it. There was no way he was getting to that.
And Gearhart with a team-leading 39 RBIs for Mount Union as he steps to the plate with a chance to drive in more here. Fist this one up in the air, and it's going to be Gormley in right field who will make the catch. And bluff attempt there by Grayson McLean. May not want to bluff with Gormley throwing from the outfield. He's got a strong arm as the ball rolls in behind him. That's out number 2 here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, if Harmon gets to the base a little quicker, they had a chance at it.
So it brings up Quentin Posey. He's been on base twice in this game. He scored 2 runs. Flew out to center field, singled and scored in the second, tripled and scored in the 4th. And this is a line drive right at Vanelli. And that will do it for Mount Union here in the 5th. No runs, 2 hits, they lead 2. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. Notre Dame trying to figure out a way to get something happening here. And they trail Mount Union 9-0 in the 3A championship game.
These days, life is busy, but amazing. From the sci-fi brilliance of technology to the existence of toast, we move at a crazy pace until this happens. Time for MedExpress. Walk right in, get the care you need, and get right back at it. MedExpress, because life is urgent.
Pennsylvania's 956 boroughs each offer something unique to the Commonwealth. They are filled with culture, commerce, and history. Join PCN and the Pennsylvania State Association of Boroughs each month as we journey around the state in Exploring Pennsylvania Boroughs. Go to PCNTV.com for more details.
The Notre Dame Green Pond Crusaders looking for a lucky charm, and that's what they need right now, down 9-0, and that is their lucky charm. It is some kind of a Hulk doll. One of the players found him in a store somewhere. Notre Dame Green Pond was 7-5 and scuffed a little bit in the season, and all of a sudden somebody brought that thing to a game, hung it in the dugout, and they started to win. And in the superstitious nature of baseball, they weren't going to change. And right now, Notre Dame Green Pond needs to rub some green off that Hulk. They need to do some work, because right now Seth Smith has been the strongest of them all. As he's held the Crusaders down, it's 9-0 Mount Union with Notre Dame here to the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And it's Richard Muller, Colin Quintano, and Jake Yurkovich due up for the Crusaders. And this one fisted down the first base line and out of play. And to add to that superstition, talking with Mike Beddix, their head coach, and Mike Beddix played here at Notre Dame Green Pond, was a 1995 graduate of, or 1993 graduate, excuse me. But the Crusaders have 5 different uniform combinations. However, they have not used a whole lot of them this year. The yellow jerseys with the white pants that you see them wearing now, this is the 17th straight game that they've worn these uniforms because they've won 16 in a row. And you know how it goes. If we're winning, we ain't changing.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to do the math when you said they were 7-5 when the Hulk showed up. Boy, that's a nice little win streak.
Between the Hulk and the gold jerseys, they just keep on winning, and so they keep on wearing the same combination. And the other 4 jerseys, they just become something in your closet. Here's a ball lifted into right field, and Quentin Fultz had it played perfectly. He stands there, he makes the catch, and it's out number 1 here in the 5th inning.
But now my question with the Hulk down there, can he pinch hit and get the elusive 9-run home run?
It might need some kind of juice right now because Seth Smith has been in control of this game from the very get-go. He has not walked a batter. He surrendered 2 hits, and that's it. As Colin Quintano steps to the plate, he rips one down the third baseline and foul. The Crusaders are getting better swings now at Seth Smith. This is the 2nd time through the order for the Crusaders. And they did come up with a hit and a couple of hard-hit balls in the 4th inning. But the biggest thing that Seth Smith can say is, turn around, look at that scoreboard. It still says 0 under the run column.
Yeah, and there's the difference. 5th inning, they're just getting through the 2nd time in the lineup, while Mount Union is now into their 4th time through the lineup.
A difference with 14 hits on the board for the Trojans. And just 2 so far for the Crusaders. As Quintano fouled off, he is 0 for 1 on night throughout the left field this first at bat. This one bounces out in front of home plate. Smith will make the play all by himself. And that turns into an easy little tapper out in front of the plate and out number 2.
Yeah, and Notre Dame is starting to get have some louder outs, better swings, and that's something you kind of see. If someone's overpowering you, has a lot of velocity, hey, you can either catch up to it or you can't. But someone who kind of relies on deception, 2nd, 3rd time through the line, you start seeing that, and then you start recognizing things a little better.
But Alkin, a strikeout victim, his first time up, swings through another one here. An economy of pitches as well for Seth Smith. Again, the PNAA pitch limit for 7 innings for a pitcher, not for 7 innings, but just in general, is 105. It's 100 during the regular season. They extended to 105 for a postseason game. That pitch, which is strike number 2 to Ben Olkin, was the 47th pitch thrown by Seth Smith with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And no balls and 2 strikes on Yurkovich. And make it strike 3. Jake Yurkovich is a strikeout victim, and that will do it for Notre Dame here in the 5th as they are retired in order. We head to the top of the 6th. And Mount Union maintains its 9-0 lead.
Essential nutrients. Low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Refuel with chocolate milk after your next workout.
PCN brings you the PIAA championships in a variety of sports. From the field to the pool and the court to the track, PCN brings you the best scholastic teams competing on the state's biggest stage from all the best angles. With multiple cameras, instant replays, and professional commentary, we take high school sports and elevate them to new heights. Watch on cable and the PCN app. PCN, proud to bring Pennsylvania sports to you.
head to the top half of the 6th inning. Mount Union in command of the 3A baseball championship game right now. They lead Notre Dame by a score of 9-0. Did you know you can watch this game and other PIAA championships with the PCN Select streaming service? Download the app on your favorite device to start streaming PIAA championships live and on demand, or buy a copy of the action details at PCNTV.com. And you get some more details about our coverage. We've got four baseball games on tap tomorrow, 4 softball games on tap as well. Softball state championship games are going on right down the street from where we are here at Penn State University. Penn State's softball and baseball stadiums in use for the 2 state championships. And our coverage of baseball begins at 10:30 here. And the softball coverage will get underway at 11 a.m. here at Penn State University. So on the PCN Select app, you can watch and have your choice of which you prefer to watch, or watch them all throughout the day here on PCN. So we'll be live on cable for baseball and live on the PCN Select for softball and baseball as well. You can catch softball replays on Saturday here on cable. PCN, the home of PIAA championships, as we complete our 20th year of our relationship with the PIAA, bringing you exclusive coverage of PIAA state championships with the baseball and softball coverage here at Penn State University. Kobe Hand leading things off for Mount Union here in the top half of the 6th inning. Tries to check his swing and does not, I should say, and they'll run down to first base. Hand tried to sell it. Home plate umpire Brian Brandt said no. He completed that swing, and so they throw down to first base, and that'll be a strikeout and out number 1 here in the 6th.
Nice pitch by Benalkin, up in the count, just buries it down in the dirt and gets Hand to chase that one.
So they'll bring up Ethan Carbaugh, who has 3 at-plate appearances and 3 hits on the night. A little squirter towards second. Benelli will field it on the hop and in time, and Carbaugh is retired for the first time. That's 2 down here in the 6th.
Elevated that pitch a little bit. Carbaugh tries to go up and get it. Can't get on top of it and gets a lot of backspin. Benelli does a nice job. Keep the ball in front of him. Got plenty of time to make the play.
So Seth Smith to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs, 2-run single in the first inning. And he lines one down the right field line, but slicing out of play. Mount Union did a good job of going the other way on a number of occasions over the course of this game. A lot of hits the other way for Mount Union in this one. They have 14 hits on the night.
Yeah, and that all goes back to, I keep harping on that offensive approach. They're just not trying to do everything. You can't be a dead pull hitter. They're mixing pitches. They're hitting the outside corner. You stay back. You let the ball travel deep in the zone, and you drive it to right. And that's what they're doing. They're not just little dinkers to right. They're driving the ball the opposite way.
So it's no balls and a strike to Seth Smith. And make it no balls and 2 strikes as he fouls this one off his fist straight back to the fence.
Another thing I like to see with them, too, is they don't seem to get down when they have 2 strikes on them. They get in there. That's where that offensive approach of not trying to do too much.
Swing and a miss here, and that will do it as Mount Union goes 1-2-3 for the first time in this game to finish off the top half of the 6th inning. We go back to Penn State University. The Crusaders back to the plate, trailing Mount Union 9-0 after 5.5.
You've heard the name. You've seen the face. Now he's part of the PCN family. Meet Bob McCool, Sports Director and Director of Sales. Spread your message through PCN with a sports sponsorship. Your advertisement will be seen by millions during PIAA championship games. For information how, contact Bob at info@PCNTV.com. PCN, proud to bring Pennsylvania sports to you.
Time is of the essence for the Notre Dame Green Pond Crusaders. They trail Mount Union 9-0. The Trojans looking for their 4th state championship in program history, looking for their first since 1995. The Crusaders, on the other hand, have never won a state championship and are appearing in a state final for the first time ever. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Crusaders here in the 6th. That's Patrick Benolkin, Ryan Gibke, and Josh Herman. And the first pitch for Seth Smith is over for a called strike one.
And if you're Coach Tim Hicks, you're telling the Trojans, hey, look, collect outs. We're 6 outs away. Just make the routine plays, get the outs, don't give up any base runners.
And there's a little humpback line drive towards second, no problem for Harshbarger. And that's 1 out here in the 6th inning. Brings up Gibke, who is 0 for 1 on the night. Popped up to the catcher in his only plate appearance. Takes this one on the inside corner for a called strike one. Ryan Gibke in the offseason, or right after last season, told head coach Mike Beddix he wanted to pitch in a state championship game. My problem was he had never pitched before. So Mike Beddix just kind of tuned him out. He said, Coach, I want to pitch in a state championship game. He said, well, you need to show up for off-season workouts for pitchers. And so he kept showing up and showing up and showing up. He has not pitched in a game all year long, and Mike Beddix said, oh my goodness, we're in a state championship game, and I promised this kid he could pitch in a state championship game. So he said to me before the game, he said, so if you see him in the game, I'm not crazy. I said, you got to live up to your promises. He said, I had a lineup in place where he was our starting pitcher today because I promised it to him. Right now he's in a hole, and he's going to be further in the hole as he's strikeout victim here, and he's going to be safe at first base as the throw down from Bryce Stinson pulls Kobe Hand off the bag. So Gibke will take it. He is on base with an 1 out here in the 6th inning. It'll go in the books as a strikeout, but on the ball in the dirt, Gibke ends up getting to first base. So it's the 6th strikeout for Seth Smith, but it's still a runner at first base now and 1 out for the top of the order, Josh Herman. Herman struck out in the first and hit a bullet right at right fielder Quentin Foltz last time up.
So now you got 1 inning left, you're down 9-0. Does he put Gibke in to throw to 7th?
It's a good point. He may very well do it. He said, we'll try to get him at least to warm up in the bullpen. He said, I'd like to at least get him in to throw him a pitch.
It's tough to get your center fielder warmed up in the bullpen now.
It's exactly the beauty of high school baseball. You can't warm up if you're out on the field. Pitch to the plate to Herman, fools him for a moment, and it ends up being a called strike 2.
Yeah, that was one of the better off-speed pitches all night. Smith does a real nice job. Lots of downward tilt, comes right through the zone and fooled him. I think he was looking fastball.
Herman calls timeout before Smith delivered the pitch. Brian Brandt, the home plate umpire, gives him the time. So no balls and 2 strikes to Josh Herman. Runner at first, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Capper towards second. Harshbarger has a decision. He'll flip it to second in plenty of time to get the lead runner only. That's 2 down.
And that's what I'm talking about. Collect outs. Kind of a soft hit ground ball. You're not going to turn 2 there. Just make sure you feel this and make a good flip. Just get the out at second base. You're not turning 2. Real nice job. Get the lead runner and keep you out of a big inning.
Nick Pinelli trying to make something out of this inning for the Crusaders. 1 for 2 on the night. He has 1 of the 2 hits in this game for Notre Dame. Single in the 4th inning, was a strikeout victim his first time up. Seth Smith, 1 ball, no strikes, 1 on, 2 down. Hard hit towards third and through for a base hit. So Pinelli gets his 2nd hit of the night. 2 on now. And the 3-hole hitter and their top hitter, Stephen Luke, to the plate for the Crusaders.
Nice job of hitting by Pinelli. Ball up in the zone a little bit. He just kind of gets on top of it, drives it through the hole, keeps the inning alive.
Luke trying to get a hit here. They can get Notre Dame at least on the scoreboard finally. Seth Smith trying to extinguish a fire one more time. 2 on, 2 down. Pickoff play to first base, but the first baseman, Kobe Ann, was nowhere near the bag.
Yeah, they're questioning that. That is pretty close to a ball.
Confused the daylights out of Nick Vanelli. He didn't know what to do because he turned to go back to the bag. He's like, there's nobody there. So what do I do? He was frozen for a moment.
Yeah, Coach Hicks was kind of questioning, what are you doing? You got 2 outs.
There it is.
We're not holding him on.
In the meantime, Nick Vanelli was like, well, do I still have to go back to the base if there's nobody there? Ball in the dirt here. A nice play by Bryce Stinson. Keeps both runners at first and second, respectively. Vanelli at first and Gibke at second. Excuse me, Herman at second and Vanelli at first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stephen Luke. That one's up high. It's 2-1. We told you at the beginning of the game that Stephen Luke will head to Virginia Military Institute to play Division I baseball, and he'll go there as a pitcher. But he can hit, and very well may end up doing something besides hitting. Coaches for Notre Dame said, we wouldn't be surprised if he ended up behind the plate. He's as solid as they come, smart of the game, and a lot of Division II schools, Bloomsburg among them, had offered him the opportunity to come and play both. But at the next level, different story, and Stephen Luke opted to say, I want to pitch first. As he takes this one up, ball 4. And so he is on base for the first time. And the first walk surrendered by Stephen Smith, by Seth Smith. And now the bases are loaded and a conversation on the mound.
Yeah, Smith just does not look very comfortable out of the stretch. And he hasn't thrown a lot out of the stretch tonight, so he just having trouble locating his fastball, and then in turn he can't really use his backdoor breaking balls when you can't locate the fastball.
So Tim Hicks, the head coach, again, he is a graduate. It's kind of cool that both coaches in this state championship game are graduates of their respective schools. Tim Smith at Mount Union, Mike Beddix at Notre Dame Green Pond. Tim Hicks, a longtime assistant. Told you about his relationship with former head coach Nick Imperoli, who is still on his staff and coached here for 43 years and won 3 straight championships. Mike Beddix is a 1993 graduate. Still proudly says he holds the stolen base record for Notre Dame Green Pond High School for stolen bases in a season with 34. That's pretty impressive in high school.
That's very impressive.
This one way up and in, spins Ben Gormley off the plate. So Seth Smith now with runners at all 3 bases, still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Crusaders have a shot ripped down the third baseline, and Josh Herman had a duck out of the way of that bullet off the bat of Gormley that hooks foul.
Yeah, he sat on that fastball, and he got what he was looking for. He just got out in front of it a little bit.
Gormley 0 for 2 on the night. Flew out to right, flew out to center. One ball, 1 strike. Tapped towards the right side. Not a problem for Kobe Hand. He'll make the play harmlessly by his lonesome. And that'll do it for Notre Dame here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. We head to the top of the 7th inning of the 3A state championship. Mount Union in control. The Trojans lead it 9-0.
Game days are about more than the outcome. They are also about important life lessons. What it means to play with integrity, fairness, and respect. Represent your school and your community. The name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back. You are part of something bigger than yourself, and regardless of the result, achieving the greatest victory of good character and sportsmanship.
In 40 years, PCN has grown from an idea to promote education through cable into the nation's leading state public affairs network, with multiple streaming channels and thousands of hours of original programs. From microwave to satellite to IP delivery, from analog to HD, from our humble beginnings to our Camp Hill home. Over 40 years, PCN has evolved to bring you the best our Commonwealth has to offer. PCN, proud to bring Pennsylvania to you.
We head to the top half of the 7th inning. Mount Union Trojans, as you can see on your screen right now, 4 runs in the first, 4 more in the second, and 1 more in the fourth. 9 runs on 14 hits for Mount Union. No runs on 3 hits for Notre Dame Green Pond. Trojans, the Crusaders with their best chance in that 6th inning. Seth Smith works himself out of a bases-loaded jam. So we head to the 7th inning with a 9-0 advantage for Mount Union. And first pitch swinging for the Trojans, lifted down the left field line and a long run and out of play off the bat of Quentin Fultz. First pitch swinging and just hooked that one foul down the third base line.
Yeah, he got the pitcher he was looking for there, and he hammered that ball. If that stays fair in that 325, the way it kind of juts in a little bit, he could have hooked that right around the foul pole for a home run.
325 down the left field line, 320 down the right field line here at Lubrano Park. This time taking all the way. Fultz takes one for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Fultz trying to get a piece of the pie in this game. Actually the only hitter in the lineup for Mount Union without a base hit. And now he's behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Officially 0 for 3 on the night. Grounded to third, popped up in the infield, and flew out to right field in his 3 plate appearances. As that pitch bounces up there off the hand of Benolkin. So it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fultz, followed by Bryce Stinson, and the top of the order, and Grayson McLean for Mount Union here in the 7th inning. There's a little squirter down the right side. Stephen Luke will flip to Benolkin covering for out number 1. Being a pinch hitter here now for Mount Union. Bryce Stinson, who normally bats out of the 9 spot, will surrender to a pinch hitter, Stephen Broombaugh, who we saw earlier in the game as a courtesy runner. Will now get a chance to hit here with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Yeah, in this case, you got a senior not in the starting lineup. You want to get him an opportunity to come out here in the state championship game. So a real nice job by Coach Hicks here, knowing his team and getting kids in the game.
And first pitch swinging, he drives one into right field. He'll back up Ben Gormley, who will make the catch for out number 2. So even the guys who don't get in the lineup regularly come up a swinging when they step to the plate for Mount Union.
Yeah, and another hard out.
So 2 down here in the 7th inning. At the top of the order, and Grayson McLean, who is 3 out of 4 on the night. 3 singles and a ground out in his 4 plate appearances for Mount Union.
And you see him, McLean. He's a kid who certainly has a really good idea at the plate. He has some really nice at-bats tonight. He's not swinging a lot of bad pitches. Gets the ball in his zone, and he really attacks it.
He did so right out of the chute in this one. On the second pitch of the game, he lined a single into center field. And that got Mount Union off and rolling. He came around to score the first of 9 runs in the game, and here he lifts one towards left field. Muller is there. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for Mount Union in the 7th inning. Last chance for Notre Dame. They've got a lot of work to do as they head to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning of the 3A championship game. Mount Union in command at 9-0.
Slam dunk, home run, touchdown, goal! However you score, do it with PCN, bringing you sports coverage every season. Watch live and stream on demand. With coverage this good, you'll be a part of the action on cable and the PCN app. PCN knows the importance of Gettysburg and the Pennsylvania budget to our viewers. This June, PCN will have live coverage of the House and Senate during the budget process, followed by Gettysburg Battle Walks, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. If the budget is late, Gettysburg will air on stream with the PCN Select streaming service. Visit PCNTV.com for schedule updates and to watch on demand. The battle for the Union or the battle for the budget? PCN is proud to bring both to you.
Remind you of our championship coverage starts right back here on PCN tomorrow morning, 10:30 will be our start time here on the network. We'll start it with the 6A championship game, that is Central Buck South taking on Souderton, followed by the 4A championship game, that is Beaver against Selinsgrove. The 2A championship game will be Sarah Catholic against Devon Prep, and then we'll finish it off with the game that, in case you're tuning in to watch tonight's game, which was originally scheduled as the 5A championship game, Lampeter, Stroudsburg, and Redland. That game was postponed and will be moved to the evening game tomorrow night, right now scheduled tentatively for 7:30. So the games are scheduled right now to be at 10:30, followed by 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30. That is the scheduled start times for the 4 games tomorrow, right here on PCN. Last chance for Notre Dame Green Pond. It'll be Richard Muller, Colin Quintano, and Jake Yurkovich, the 3 batters intended in the order to face Seth Smith, who has been in control of this game. Ran into his most serious issues in the 6th inning, worked his way out of a bases-loaded situation, and still has not yet surrendered a run, and he works ahead of Muller. No balls and a strike, and then misses one way up and out of the strike zone. It's 1-1.
Yeah, now he's back in his more comfortable windup, where you can see he has a lot better command of his pitches, and he just feels much more comfortable out of the windup.
Misses that one up high, and it's now 2 balls and a strike.
Could be starting to fatigue setting in a little bit, running out of gas a little bit, and that's pretty prone to pitchers. You see when they start leaving balls up, that means they're getting tired, they're rushing their lower half, and the arms kind of sliding through his arm slot a little late and leaves everything up.
That is the 70th pitch of the game thrown by Seth Smith. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smith worked 60 innings over the course of the season. Gerhardt, the other starter predominantly for Mount Union. And that is the other thing that has changed in high school baseball, the evolution of arms and controlling pitchers and pitch control and pitch counts, is that if you're going to make it to a state championship game, you're going to make any kind of a postseason run, you better have more than one pitcher. As Muller rolls this one down the first baseline. Once upon a time, you had one really good pitcher. He could throw a lot of innings and a lot of pitches and keep using that horse day in and day out. Can't do that anymore. You better have at least 2 good starting pitchers if you're going to have any kind of a postseason run.
Yeah, when you play in the regular season, most times you're playing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. With the pitch limits and days off, it's really difficult for a pitcher to start 2 games in a week. And you see it occasionally, especially smaller schools. But over time, you're going to just wear down your pitching staff. So you have 2 quality starters and a 3rd reliable guys, bullpens, during the regular season. But then you hit playoffs because of days off. If you have 2 dominant pitchers, that's who you're going to see those teams make a long run.
The Crusaders looking for some kind of magic right now. They get a leadoff walk to Richard Muller, just the 2nd walk surrendered by Seth Smith, as the batter Colin Quintano taps one foul down the 3rd baseline. Quintano 0 for 2 on the night, flew out the left field and grounded out the first base in the 5th inning.
And you're starting to see Notre Dame, I think it's a combination. They're starting to recognize pitches a little better, and Smith may be tiring a little bit, but you're not seeing the swing and misses that we saw earlier in the game. They're putting more balls into play, fouling a lot of balls off.
Takes one here for a strike at the knees, and Seth Smith works ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Notre Dame Green Pond out of the Colonial League. They won the District 11 championship, beat Palisades in the district final by a 10-2 score. And this one is over for a called strike 3 and out number 1 in the 7th.
And Smith says, okay, I don't need swing and misses. I'll just pound the zone and off speed and get you looking.
7 strikeouts now on the night for Seth Smith, and that'll bring up Yurkovich. Nope, pinch hitter for the Crusaders. That'll be Kyle Duplega, who will pinch hit. Another senior getting a chance here for the Notre Dame Green Pond Crusaders. That's a bat for Yurkovich. And he'll take one a bit high for a ball. Runner at first base is Richard Muller. He walked. Duplega will find a gap in the right center field. It's going to roll for a while. Rounding second and headed for third is Muller. Duplega will roll into second base with a stand-up double. First extra base hit of the game for the Crusaders, who still have a little bit of life in their dugout with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, this is a really nice piece of hitting. Come off the bench cold, take a first pitch high fastball, and then you get another one and you just drive it to the right field gap. And great piece of hitting. Another pinch hitter.
Godolkin was the scheduled hitter. It'll be Luke Skrinkoski, another senior, who will get a chance to hit here with 1 out in the 7th. So it worked for Duplega. Can Skrinkoski add to it? He'll take one for a breaking ball. It's a beauty from Seth Smith. Really fooled Skrinkoski, and he takes it for a called strike 1.
Yeah, you sit on the bench all game, come in cold, and then that's the first pitch you see. That's pretty tough.
Sees another breaking ball and takes another one for a called strike 2.
Smith says, okay, that's worked first time, let's come right back with it.
You didn't really like that one, so let me give it to you again. And so right now, Skrinkoski's trying to time it up. No balls and 2 strikes. This one tapped towards short. Gearhart up with it. He'll make the sure out to first in time. Crusaders will finally get a run out of it as Muller will come across with the first run. Gearhart has one thing in mind, and that's getting out.
Yeah, he obviously would love to get the shutout in a state championship game, but just shake it off now. You got 2 outs, 1 out away, and still going to feel just as good.
They won't ask you what the score. They'll just ask you which medal you won. As Ryan Gibke now will bat last chance for the Crusaders. It's now 9-1. Duplega remains the runner at second base. Top of the order, and Josh Herman hoping for another chance in the on-deck circle for Notre Dame. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Seth Smith trying to complete the victory. Swing and a miss from Gibke, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, that's a big sweeping curveball that all of a sudden he has found again. That's about the 4th one this inning that he's thrown for strikes.
2 walks, 7 strikeouts to this point for Seth Smith. 1 ball, 1 strike right now to Gibke. Up high, 2-1. Now you also, if you're Seth Smith, you're starting to fight your own emotions. Because he knows there's 2 outs in the 7th inning of a state championship game. So you got to make sure you don't overthrow it, you don't underthrow it, you don't do anything other than just release the pitch like you normally would. Swing and a miss, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Trojans are 1 pitch away.
Yeah, he, I think, set him up that pitch before, gave him the high fastball out of the zone. If he chases, great. If not, no problem. And then he comes back with that big sweeping curveball.
The Trojan fans are on their feet. They've made the drive up 322 from Huntington County, wanting to see Mount Union win a state championship. They're a strike away. And it's low, ball 3, and the count is full. They will not sit down. They'll stay on their feet for at least 1 more pitch. Again, looking for a state championship for the 4th time in program history. The last time was long before these young men were born. The last time they won one was 1995. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss. No, he fouled it off at the plate. Gibke got just a piece of it, and so the game remains in play.
And Coach Hicks was about halfway out to the plate.
I asked him what it feels like, the difference, because he played on that 95 state championship team, difference between playing in it and coaching it. He said, I just want these kids to win it so badly. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Gibke draws the walk, and the top of the order, and Josh Herman to the plate.
And I'm sure Coach would tell you too, and I speak from experience, playing a lot of baseball and then coaching a lot of baseball, it is a lot more nerve-wracking when you're in the dugout. When you're playing, you just play, man. You don't think about it. You don't feel the pressure. But right now, he's standing in the dugout. Oh, my gosh, we need one more out. Let's go. Just get the out. Let's get it over with.
Josh Herman 0 for 3 on the night. Looking to change that here. Takes one for a ball. Duplega, the runner at second. Gibke, the runner at first. Josh Herman, the sophomore, is the hitter. Run across for the Crusaders, but they have a whole lot more they need right now. Pickoff attempt again by Seth Smith.
But Hand was covering that.
At least Hand
was a called play.
Was at the play at the bag this time. Defense pretty much straight away for the left-handed hitting Josh Herman. This one way up and in. Nice play by Bryce Stinson. Full extension for the catcher. Tim Hicks is sensing what you're sensing, Jamie, that the emotions of all of this are starting to get inside of Seth Smith. He's just this is a visit for composure.
Sure.
The bullpen is empty. This is Seth Smith's game. This is just really to go back out there and just say, look, it's all right. We're okay. You're okay. We're all okay.
But I think Smith is also on fumes right here. He's leaving balls up. He's just you kind of lose your fundamentals, your mechanics. So you're not supporting your arm by using your lower half. And he's all up there throwing everything all arm, and his arm laid through his arm slot, and everything's up.
These are two good coaches. These are two guys that really helped us out a lot with our preparation for the game. Tim Hicks from Mount Union and Mike Bennick from Notre Dame Green Pond. We really thank them and their coaching staffs, their schools, their athletic directors for their assistance and letting us get a peek inside of their programs and what their kids do and some of the things that have gone on for them over the course of the season. 2 balls and no strikes to Herman. Pitch, up and in, ball 3. There you see what we're talking about. Sometimes it's not necessarily the pitch count that can tire out a pitcher. You throw what he's pitching for on top of it, and it adds to the fatigue. 3 balls and no strikes. Herman taking all the way, takes one for a called strike 1.
Yeah, and it's kind of the cumulative factor of all the innings you throw over the season, and your body just starts breaking down a little bit.
3 balls and a strike. Up high, ball 4, and the Crusaders still have a pulse. Back-to-back walks here for Seth Smith, his 4th of the game, loads him up. Duplega moves to 3rd, Gibke to 2nd. Josh Herman is on base for Nick Vanelli and the Crusaders of Notre Dame Green Pond.
And if you're a defensive player behind him, you're thinking, boy, let's just get it over. Just let him hit it. Throw it down the middle of the plate. We'll make the play. But you know what? That's a little easier said than done at this point. He's throwing a lot of pitches. He's definitely tired, running out of gas. So it's not the easiest thing to just to will yourself to throw strikes.
He's surrendered 4 hits in the game. Nick Vanelli has 2 of those 4. And he takes one for a called strike at the letters. So he works ahead of Vanelli, who's 2 for 3 on the night.
And I like to see that he came back with his off speed, which he right now definitely has more command over.
This one, however, is in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Seth Smith will continue playing baseball at Penn State Mount Aloysius. He's going to take a couple of teammates with him. Quentin Fultz and Bryce Stinson. Stinson is catcher, are all going to continue their baseball career playing in the same place. As Vanelli lifts one into center field. McLean has it spotted up, and the Mount Union Trojans are your 2019 3A champions as they jump on Notre Dame early, and then they hang on for the victory. Mount Union with their victory, they win it 9-1.
Yeah, what an outing. Can't say too much more than what we've said the whole game. I mean, Smith shut him down defensively, pitching, and then the offense was just unbelievable. Great offensive approach, ripping balls all over the ballpark, scoring a ton of 2-out runs, Second inning, 4 runs, all with 2 outs.
And so Notre Dame gets a run across in the 7th. They do so on a hit. They leave them loaded as Mount Union will get the trophies. When we come back to Penn State University, it's trophy time. The 3A final belongs to the Mount Union Trojans.
Focus on Aging Adults, in partnership with AARP, brings you a monthly panel discussion with topics such as prescription drug prices, holiday scams, retirement communities, and more, helping you understand issues important to seniors. Focus on Aging Adults, monthly on PCN. Visit PCNTV.com for the latest episodes and to see the upcoming schedule. PCN, proud to bring Pennsylvania to you.
After a great victory over Union forces in June 1863, Robert E. Lee marches his army to Pennsylvania. The advancing Confederates clash with General Meade's Union Army at Gettysburg, beginning the most famous battle of the Civil War. Explore our nation's past and the Gettysburg battlefield with the Gettysburg Collection. Become a member to stream the library online. Learn more at GettysburgCollection.com.
Well, it's not a long drive back to Huntington County for the home of the Mount Union Trojans, but even though it's not a very long trip, I guarantee you Seth Smith will not make it back to the school without taking a nap. He has worn himself weary tonight. As you see the embrace of teammates, Seth Smith giving a hug with Quentin Posey, who will go on to play college football at Seton Hill in the PSAC. But right now, Seth Smith and his teammates at Mount Union High School are your state champions. 7 innings pitched, obviously, for Seth Smith. He surrendered 4 hits, ends up walking 4 because of the 2 walks he gave up in the 7th inning, and 7 strikeouts along the way. But a gutty, gritty effort for Seth Smith. Again, as we said, he's not going to overpower anybody, but he's crafty. He knows what he's doing on the mound, and he got the job done. Running on fumes down the stretch, but I guarantee you Tim Hicks wasn't going to take him out of the game, but even if he thought about it, I don't know that Seth Smith would have given him the ball.
No, I don't think he would have. Absolutely not. But he did a great job of keeping the Notre Dame batters off balance all night.
And so now it's time for the medal ceremony. Notre Dame Great Pond will get the silver medal, and Mount Union will get the gold.
Number 3, Connor Rex. Number 6, Ryan Gibke. Number 7, Colin Quintano. Number 8, Nick Vanelli. Number 9, Patrick Benolkin. Number 10, Aiden Albus. Number 11, Josh Herman. Number 14, Jackson Schollenberger. Number 16, Ben Gormley. Number 17, Michael Castillo. Number 19, Stephen Liu. Number 20, Jake Yurkovich. Number 21, AJ Srirachi. Number 22, Richard Muller. Number 23, Patrick Flynn. Number 24, Matt Wolke. Number 32, Kyle Dupliga. Number 42, Jake Hall. Number 44, Ryan Lambert. Head coach, Michael Beddix. Assistant coach, Tim Hurd. Assistant coach, Rocco Vanelli. Assistant coach, Butch Courage. And assistant coach, Anthony Martino. At this time, we would ask head coach Michael Beddix to come forward and accept the 2019 PIAA Class 3A Baseball Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations once again to the Crusaders of Notre Dame, the 2019 Class 3A PIAA Baseball State Runner-Ups. Now, let's meet the champions, the Trojans. Number 1, Vince Lear. Number 2, Ian Broadbeck. Number 3, Cale Walter. Number 7, Colton Benson. Number 8, Tyler Renninger. Number 11, Ethan Carbaugh. Number 14, Quinton Foltz. Number 16, winning pitcher, Seth Smith. Number 17, Matt Harshbarger. Number 18, Dylan Gearhart. Number 19, Clayton Arnold. Number 20, Stevie Broomball. Number 21, Grayson McLean. Number 23, Bryce Stinson. Number 24, Kobe Ham. Number 26, Clayton Willoughby. Number 27, Brock Woodward. Number 28, Davon Wilson. Number 29, Blake Woodward. Number 32, Quinton Posey. Manager, Braylon Knievel. And manager, Blaine Hutzinger. At this time, we would like to ask Dylan Gearhart, Seth Smith, Bryce Stinson, and Quinton Posey to come forward and accept the 2019 PIAA Class 3A Baseball Championship Trophy. Congratulations to the Mount Union Trojans!
We began this broadcast talking about the fact that both these two teams had solid hitting in their lineup, but they also had some pretty good pitching as well, and which would win out. Well, Mount Union got both. They got good pitching, obviously the solid performances we talked about from pitcher Seth Smith, but they got hits from 8 of the 9 batters in their lineup, and they also got RBI production out of their 5, 6, and 7 spots. Kobe Hand, Ethan Carbaugh, and Seth Smith. 3 RBIs apiece for Hand and Carbaugh, and 2 more for Seth Smith. Put it all together, and it's a convincing victory for Mount Union. The Trojans winning a state championship for the 4th time in program history.
Yeah, a very impressive game, obviously, both sides of the ball. But really, to me, that second inning with 2 outs when they rally, when they have 4 straight base hits and 5 straight base hits, scoring 4 runs.
And that is the big difference in the ball game as 9 runs, 14 hits, and an error, leaving 7. The Mount Union Trojans, 1 run on 4 hits, 2 errors, and they also left 7 for Notre Dame in a losing cause. The Trojans are 25-3 and state champions. Notre Dame finishes at 23-6 and a state runner-up in addition to their District 11 championship. That's going to do it for our Day 1 coverage. Don't forget, we'll begin tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for more baseball coverage here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We'll have the 6A game for you and the start of 2 straight state championships in our baseball state coverage. For all of us at the Pennsylvania Cable Network, our director has been Herb Logan, our producer Matt Hall, for my broadcast partner Jamie Wechter. My name is Bob McCool. Thanks for watching high school baseball tonight here on PCN. We'll talk to you right back here at Penn State University.